Maritime Agreement. Uh, the FAL Convention on the Facility of International Maritime Traffic. Organization, the FAL Convention. Date, adopt 9 April 20, 2965, enter into force 5 March 2967. Description. The convention's main objectives are to prevent unnecessary delays in the maritime traffic, to allow cooperation between governments, and exert the highest practicable regard to the internet in the facility others producers. In particular, the convention reduces the number of declarations which can be required by public authorities. Background proposed evolution. The FAL Convention consists of the 16 article and the one annex. The article contains is inter-allied general province, the scope of the convention, and the notific and enter into force requirements. The ISS, International Convention for Safe Containers. Organization, the SCS Convention. Date, adoption to December 1972. Enter into force 6 September 1967. Description. There was a rapid increase in the usage of the freight containers for the consignment of the goods by sea and the development of the special container ship. In the 1967, IMO undertook to study the safety of containerization in the maritime transport. The containers itself emerged as the most important aspect to the consideration. On the one is to maintain a high level safety of the human life in the transport and handling of the container by providing generally asset test process and related strict requirements. The other is the facility is the international transport of the container by providing uniform international safe regulation. Squatting is applied to matter of the surface transport. Instead, wide polyphasic of the divergent natation safe regularly can be avoided. Background proposed evolution. The requirement on the convention applied to great majority of the great container used internationally, except to design specially for carrier by air. As the wasn't eaten dust of all container or reserve the parking buses should be affected. The scope of the convention is limited to container of the prescribed minimum size having connect 15. Despite weight permit handling, security or stanked. STP, Specially Trade Passenger Ship Agreement. The organization, the STP Conventional, that adopted 6 October 1971, entering into force to January 1974. Description: the carrier of the larger number of under the Passerman in the special tribe talk of the Pilgrim tribe in the recreated area around the Indian Ocean is the particularly interesting to country is that area. It was regularly is the same rules of the 1931, which became after follow the adoption of the 1991, 48, and 1916 Solas Convention of a result IMO Convention and the international conferences in 1971 to consider save the requirement for a special dry passenger ship in the relation of the 1916 Solar Convention. Background proposed evolution is the included on the annex to agreement are special dry passenger ship rules. 1971 was provided in the modification to the regulation of Charter 2 and 3 of the 1916 Solas Convention, followed in the International Conference on Special Dry Passenger Ship. 1971 IMO in the comparison with other organization particularity is the World Health Organization WHO is the delivery taking rules convert the safety aspect carried passenger on the board such ship. LL International Convention on Lot Lines Organization. The LL Convention died adopted 5 April 1966 entered into force 21 June 1968. Description: it has long between Rexons that limited on the drawn to watch a ship might be allowed, making a significant contribution to her safety. These limited are the given in the force of the freeboard, which constitute between a stir water tank and the water tank integrate the main object of the conventional. The first international convention of the long line adopted in the 1933 was based on the principle of the receipt buying. A drone is the one in recommended site. Then the freeboard should also ensure adequate stability and the object exercise strain in the ship helped in the result of the overlanding. Background proposed evolution. The regulator considers in the potential of the present in the different zone on the different season. The technical annex contained in the several additional safety measures concerning dark, free port has weight and the other item. The main purpose of the thesis measure is to insert the water tank integrate of the ship. Who build up the freeboard D are the ancient old line must be marked on a ship on the head side of the ship, together with the deck line sheet intended on the carrier of the timber deck cargo on assets and a smaller freeboard, as the cargo provides in the protecting against the impact of weight. SLB, the Torremolinos International Convention for the Safety of the Fishing Vessel Organization, the SLB Convention died 2 April 1917 superjet by the 1993 Torremolinos Protocol. The inscription, the 1977 convention was the first ever international convention on the safety of fishing vessels, reconciled up to the great difference in the descent and the operate between those vessels. There are other types of the ship, while other vessels like cargo in the port, fishing vessel side in the on the largest third cargo at the sea. The convention included saving requirements for the construction and the equipment of the new decade seagoing fishing vessel of the 24-meter and length and the over, including those vessels of a processing their catch. Background proposed the evolution in the 1918 of the become clear that the 1977 Torremolinos Convention was is unlikely to enter to the force, largely in the technical reason, and the 1993 on the Torremolinos Protocol was adopted in the April 1993 to opt Ahmed to adhere in the parent conventional. In the 2000, I am became in the receipt the object advanced ability to take it. The law of sufficient rating the bring the treated into force in the 2012, and the new agreement was adopted in the recent to implement of the certain provisions. Administration mind accorded with the plan, progressively in the implement the provision and the characters 6 radio communication on the of the over a period of the more than 10 years. At the provision, the character 7 life 7 application are recommend and aiding emergence in the product is the most in the rig on the tanks. Shipborne navigation equipment and equipment over at the period of the no more than 5 years. This is the document. Compliance and the Safety Management Certificado is ESM Código that adopted in the Julio 1988. Description is the AESM providing the international standard for the safe management and the operation of the ship and the pollution prevalence. Its objectives are ensure safety at the sea, preventing human injuries, and facilitate avoid this damage to the environment. It is applicable to all ocean-going ships over 500 tons and to owners or marketing company that assumes the ship operation responsibility. Background proposed evolution is the ESM Código requiring of an operation to set in the place of safety management system SMS. In the brackets, it objected in the involvement the totality of the company's operation and the machineship. The SMS allowed the company to measure its performance again on the document system, and it enables the company to identification of the improvements in the safe practice and the pollution previous measures. A special proposed ship the safety certificate SPS código that adopted in 2974 description. The Convention of the International Maritime Organization concerns is the function of the committee that specialty and type of the ship with initial design of an operational characteristic. Main different for those the conventional merchant ship subject to the International Convention for the safety of the life of the sea by virtue of the specialty nature of the work on the tanker. By this ship, special personnel are the carrier were native crew member to passenger of the definite in the 1974 SOLAS Convention. Background proposed evolution. The Maritime Safety Committee at the 18th session received in the Código of the Safety for a Special Proposed Ship adopted by Resolution 53423 to bring it up to date with amendment to SOLAS and the SPES. The voluntary applic and the received código in the included training sheet the weather covered by application requirement of the SOLAS. The código has been developed to propose and the international standard of the safe for a special proposed ship in the new construction is the applic of which will is facility operation of such ship on the resultado at the level of the safe for the ship and the personally equipment to the requirement by International Convention for the Safe at the Life of the Sea 1974. Dangerous Cargo Endorsement Certification that adopt the 9866 description. Dangerous cargo endorsement in the certificate of the authority of the seafarers. Qualified hills for working on the any vessel dealing with cargo that are categorization and the maritime and dangerous goods, which shipping of the material like gasoline, petroleum, charging, etc. Requirement specialty authorized by the government of the nation for vessel handling them to be qualified on the work of the sub-vessel. Every seafarer will need BC endorsement. Background proposed evolution is the if you hold the seafaring certificate, you may apply for endorsement of your certificate for some vessel or for function training that you have achieved. This will allow you to carry out the endorsement duty or function in the regulated vessel. A holder of the certificate of the safe training may ensure with the passenger vessel creases managed on the human behavior in the endorsement and the certificate of the survivor craft and rescue boat or the other that fires rescue boat following the private training. To other endorsement will be easier for that certificate. International Código for the construction and equipment of the ship carrier dangerous shipment in the bulk that adopted Hughes 1986 description. The EBC código contain requirement for the carrier of the dangerous shipment and the news liquid substance in the bulk by sea. The EBC código is the main mandatory by bit reference in the character 7 for Part B of the International Convention for the Safety of the Life at the Sea (SOLAS Convention). In the Herman Law, in the EBC código is implemented with if I could bear down see background proposed evolution in the propose of the EBC código is the proper and the international standard for the safe carrying the boat by sea of the dangerous shipment and the nausea liquid substance. The código prescribes the design in construction with equipment standard of the ship specialty of the shipping tanker. Is the EBC código constant and the lead of all in the substance is the cover ties una list provides information of hazard of the tea substance and the minimum requirement for ship carrier 10. The objective of the EBC código must indeed be confused with those of MARPOL Annex 1, oil product, nor with thousands of the EMDJ código, dangerous good in the Paxman Force. Dangerous Cargo Carrier Certificado is the date adopted 1974 description. The administration shall provide in the ship with a provided document as the evidence for compliance on the construction and equipment with requirement of the regularity certificado for dangerous good. A specific solid dangerous good in the bull is not requirement for dozen cargoes is specific of the class 6.2 Watt 7. Then dangerous good is the limited in the quiet and the specific quality. Background proposed evolution that the construction and equipment has between found the complaint with the provisions of the regularity of the International Convention for Safe of the Light at the Sea, 1974, as the admin that the ship is suited for the carriage of the 1,000 classes of the dangerous good as specific in the apprentice subject that any problems in the International Maritime Dangerous Good EMDG código and the código of safe practice for solid board cargos, código for individuality sustain the material under article are also between complies with